Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing today? This evening? Could it be the morning? Is it the morning? Is that why it's getting dark out? Or is it getting sunny out? Do you guys want to guess what time it is? What time? Is it so early that I have a coat on today? Have I totally thrown you guys off because it's early morning? Could it be 7 in the morning? Could it be 7:25 in the morning? Or is it 7:25 at night? It's 7:25 at night. It's 7:25 at night. And I am exhausted. I am so tired. And yeah, I stayed up way late last night watching The Walking Dead. I'm back to The Walking Dead. I started last night watching, I was like, okay, I want to start another show and binge watch a show like I had like Baby Reindeer. And so I went into Netflix. I was going into all these shows. There's a bunch of shows I want to watch. Like, I want to watch Palm Royale, but I want to wait till the whole thing is out. I think next week or the week after is last week. I want to watch Sugar, but I think it's got 2 more weeks out. So those are 2 shows that I want to watch. I kind of want to watch Manhunt about Abraham Lincoln on Apple. Apple TV has some of the best shows. So I kind of want to watch that. So I was looking around last night, like different shows. I want to watch The Jinx, because The Jinx Part 2 just came out, but I want to wait till it's all out, which I think is the end of May. So, because I don't want to, like, I'm so tired of this watching 1 episode a week kind of thing. I can wait until the whole show's out, unless it's like something that I absolutely have to watch, or unless it's like a show that's going to have like 16 episodes, you know, like a reality show. Then I'll keep up with it and I'll watch it. But if it's like a limited series, you know, or whatever, like on Apple or Netflix, I'm waiting until, well, Netflix puts all their shows out typically at the same time. Oh, Bridgerton is coming back. Did you guys hear that? I'm so excited about that. So anyway, last night I was looking around. Let me pull you guys back. I just made some coffee. I made today I made Green Mountain. I think it's the cinnamon sugar cookie is what I made. I know it has cinnamon in it, and I think it's sugar cookie something. So this is not the one I typically drink, but I'm kind of trying to, like, this is so funny because I pushed the button on the Keurig that says for strong to make it stronger. And I was like, it's a really light roast. We're not even getting into that. I don't know about the roast, but it tastes kind of weak. It doesn't taste super strong. I know nothing about the roast. It's good though. Oh, that's delicious. I like that. It reminds me, yeah, it's like cinnamon sugar cookie. It reminds me of coffee from somewhere. What does this remind me of? I think it kind of reminds me of like Denny's coffee or something. Anyway, it's pretty good. I love like Denny's coffee, IHOP coffee. I love all that. Well, obviously IHOP coffee. But anyway, so I was like looking for shows last night because I wanted to binge watch a series. And today I had therapy at 2. So I was like, I'm not going to get up early and film videos before therapy. I'm going to have therapy. So Alex tonight, that work thing that he had, that he was getting together with the people that he works with and they were going to do something. They went to go make candles at this candle place. It's like him and like 4 girls, and they went to go make candles, and then they were going to dinner to Basbo's Pizza afterwards. And so they like were supposed to do it, I think, like last week, and they rescheduled it to tonight. So he's doing that, and he said he'd be home by 9 o'clock. He said it wasn't going to be a late night. They'd be home by 9 o'clock. He was like, do you want anything from Basbo's Pizza? And I was like, I have not had Basbo's Pizza in so long. Who is this driving down the street? Air conditioning, no. Air conditioning and refrigeration truck. I have not had Basbo's Pizza in so long, and I'm trying to make better choices. I did my weigh-in today over on my Peter Does Stuff channel, and so I'm like, okay, I would love to have a Quattro Formaggio, which is, what do you call it? The Quattro Formaggio is like 4 cheeses. It has like bacon on it, but you can get it without bacon. And I also would love to have a Popeye, which is like a baguette of bread. And then it has like this cream cheese, like this cucumber cream cheese and this cucumber dressing in it with just a bunch of spinach and mushrooms. I love that too. That would actually probably be pretty healthy, but it comes with chips and I dip it in the cucumber sauce. I haven't had Basbo's in so long. He was like, do you want me to bring you anything? I'm like, okay, first of all, I told you to quit asking me that. I was like, and Basbo's is so hard for me, but I was like, no, you don't have to bring me anything. But I might think, after I get done with this vlog, if I'm really hungry, I might ask him to bring me like a Popeye, and they have the best Greek salads at Basbo's too. So maybe I'll just have him bring me a salad. I can't just have a salad. But a quattro formaggio probably would not be good, would it? That wouldn't be good choices. God, I love food so much. Anyway, so I'm kind of glad, though, actually, that he had this tonight, because I was like, I can, like, when I'm done with, so my therapy session was from 2 to 3, and it was super, super intense today. I mean, I got done with it, and I was like, I don't know that I feel like filming any videos today. I was just, like, kind of, like, in my head and stuff like that. And, so anyway, I got done with that, and I talked on the phone for a little bit, and, I was like, okay, I'm gonna film some videos. But I was glad last night, because I knew I wasn't going to film until afterwards, which means I could sleep in today and then film after my therapy session, because he wasn't going to be home real early, you know? Because usually when it comes home early, like, I film my videos upstairs in the bedroom, most of them today. Well, my drama video and my weigh-in I did for my Peter Dustuff channel, I did in my bedroom. I have the movies picked out for tomorrow, so it's a double feature this week. I'm having this problem for my Peter Does Stuff, the Peter's Movie Club, because I have all the movies picked out for the, like, well, I don't have them, like, for the dates of which dates I'm going to watch which movies, but I have, like, all the movies picked out. I just have to, like, put them in, like, every week I go into the movie list. I'm like, okay, this is the movie for this week. Well, I knew which movie I wanted to pick for this week, but when I went to Tubi and I looked a couple days ago, it was like, they have one there leaving soon, and it's a huge list of all these movies. And I had like 4 or 5 movies on that list that were leaving soon. And then when I looked last night, they have some, and I was like, okay, well, I don't know how long they're going to be here. I don't know when they're leaving. I don't know which ones to pick. I have to do a double feature now because I have 4 or 5 movies that are on this list. And so when I looked a couple days, or I looked last night, they now have it where they have like a 6 on the movie. So it tells you it's going to be gone in 6 days. And so I was like, okay, that makes it simpler because that cuts out some of the movies. But I'm going to do a double feature this week. I might do a double feature this week and next week. And pick 2 movies, then we'll go back to 1 movie. But it's funny because the 2 movies that I thought I was going to end up having to pick for this week, because they were on that list, are not the ones, and to be honest with you, like, I love those movies, but I kind of wasn't in the mood to watch them this weekend. And the 2 movies that I wanted to pick, because I was really in the mood for those movies, are actually the ones that are leaving sooner than the other ones, so it kind of worked out, like, just perfectly anyway. So I'm real excited about that, and I'm real excited to see both those movies, because I haven't seen them in a long time, and they're 2 of, like, well, all of them are, like, movies I love, but these 2 movies, like, I really love these movies. So I'm excited about announcing those tomorrow. So anyway, I knew last night that I wasn't going to have to get up super early today, because Alex was coming home late and I could film my videos later and things like that. So I, last night, what did we watch last night? We watched Vanderpump Rules last night, and then we watched 2 episodes of Schitt's Creek, and I was it was the best one. It was where Patrick sings to David, Simply the Best, and plays guitar. I love that episode so much. It started, and Alex was like, I think we watched that and the one after that, because Alex was like, oh, this is a really emotional one, this is a really good one. I was like, which one is it? I never can, like, when we go into it, I never remember which episode it is. He always does, because he's watched it so many times. So we watched that, and then we watched 2 episodes, and I was like, babe, I gotta lay down for a little bit. I'm, like, really, really tired. And he was like, okay, I'm gonna go to bed too. So we went upstairs, got Boo Radley, took him out, and all that kind of stuff. Somebody said in the comment section of my video that they take gabapentin, and gabapentin makes them, like, kind of, like, really awake at night and stuff. Maybe that's what's going on with Boo Radley. I don't know, but I'm gonna ask the vet. So thank you for sharing that in the comment section. But we took Boo Radley up, we took him out and got him settled in bed, and he was fine. He, like, went to bed, fell asleep, like, with Alex, and I took a nap and laid down for about an hour and a half. And I got up, and then I was, like, looking at these shows and stuff, and I was like, I don't know which show I want to watch. And so I kind of narrowed it down. I was like, okay, I'm going to watch Ripley. And I was real excited about it. I, like, made a cup of coffee. I was like, I watched the trailer again. I was like, I'm really into this. I got, like, 10 minutes into it. It's like, I feel like what it is, and maybe if somebody out there has watched Ripley and it's worth it, let me know. But what I think it is like, they took the talent of Mr. Ripley, the movie, but they took the book that it was based on by Patricia Highsmith, and they made it an 8-part series instead of a movie, is what I think it is. Because it's the same story. And I started watching it, and it's all in black and white. It's beautifully shot. But in all honesty, I'm ready. Like, I'm in the mood to binge watch something, not to watch something for its artistic value. That's where I'm at, in all honesty. I want to watch something that's so good that I can get my teeth into and I can't stop watching. Like, that's where I'm at. I don't care about the artistic, you know, all that kind of stuff. I just want to watch something that's really good and that you can't stop watching. And so I started watching it. I was like 10 minutes into it. And I was like, I can't do this. I'm bored. So I like got out of that. And I was like, okay, I'll just watch The Walking Dead. Well, then I ended up watching like 4 or 5 episodes of The Walking Dead. I was like, I am so into this now. So I watched The Walking Dead last night. Went to bed. Got up today, got Boo Radley ready, got him settled, talked on the phone a little bit, and then I had my therapy session. So we were on the 8th question of the trauma narrative today. And it was about, what does my future look like? And, you know, it was interesting because I kind of thought about it, because he was like, I want you to think about this a little bit before we go into the session. And so I had thought about it, but like when I got in the session, the reason why it was tough is because it like occurred to me as I'm thinking about like, what do I want my future to look like? Where do I go from here? Like, having experienced this, having gone through this traumatic experience, all this kind of stuff, what's next for me? That's been the disconnect for me for the last 2 years, is that, and I've said that on this vlog so many times, I feel like, that there's like this life over here for me, and I feel like I don't know really what it looks like, and maybe it looks more like this than I thought it did. And what a beautiful life that I have of being at home and talking to my neighbors and fixing my front yard and making videos and getting excited to go to the pool. Like, that's my life today, and embracing it, you know? And part of that future looks like not always everything being like, well, it's been so many months, so many years from the accident. Everything's either before, after the accident. Not constantly living in remorse and regret and sadness, you know, which I feel like I was given that gift from his mother. But it's one thing to hear it. I just like wheeze. Did you hear that? The allergies have been so bad in Indianapolis. It's one thing to hear that and be given that. It doesn't like click right away. I mean, it's something that takes a while. And I'm still like in my head beating myself up all the time. And so, over something that I couldn't control anyway, right? And so, like, that's the disconnect. That's hard. And so we talked a lot about, like, well, what does my future look like after this, you know, and having gone through all this. And I was talking to him, like, one of my fears is that in the last 2 years, I've gotten, like, really, really emotional about stuff, right? But, like, I watch these shows of people going through these traumatic situations. Like, when I was watching Baby Reindeer the other day, there was, like, 2 different parts where, like, there was one part where he, like, didn't get out of bed for, like, weeks, and there was another part where he didn't get out of bed for days. And I watch all these shows where it's, like, people go through these traumatic experiences, and other shows, it's, like, they go through a breakup, and they don't get out of bed for, like, a month. Like, literally, they don't. They hardly change their clothes, they hardly eat, they're not taking care of themselves. And, like, in the last 2 years, I've just kind of, like, put one foot in front of the other, you know? First, it was like physically healing. Then it was the police investigation was going on. And then it was all these doctor's appointments while the investigation was going on, while cooperating and getting all the information they wanted from the doctors and getting these medical records and doing, I mean, it was a lot, you know, at that time. And I'm still like, you know, in a back brace, and I'm not healing and like quickly, and I'm not feeling great, and you know, all this kind of stuff. And then after that, it just was like, it was, for the last 2 years, I feel like I've just put one foot in front of the other. And I think that's part of my fear. And that's kind of my go-to in life, is that, and I've always done that, even as a kid, like with my mom and her drinking or anything, that the bullying or whatever, she's like, just put one foot in front of the other, just keep it moving, keep it moving, keep it moving. I'm not very good, and I think that's why maybe subconsciously, one of my goals for this year is to live in the present moment and really appreciate my life and what I've been given, and that I'm here, and live the best life that I possibly can. And, you know, I don't do a great job of living in the moment, which is why that's my goal for this year, is I constantly am like one foot in front of the other, push through, push through, push through. And I was telling them, I was like, in the last, like, if you laid out everything I went through, which, in all honesty, a lot of it I haven't even shared on here, you know, of stuff that's happened in the last 2 years, if I laid it all out, like, it would be like watching a TV show, and then it would make sense that that person didn't get out of bed for like 3 or 4 weeks in a row. But I've never gone there, right? Like, I've never allowed myself to go there. I've never really even allowed myself to, like, have 3 or 4 days where I'm just like, you know, I'm not going to do anything and I'm just going to sit in it. You know, that was kind of like during the anniversary and like after New Year's and whatever, like I was allowing myself to kind of try to do that. But even then I really struggled with it. And I told him, I think I'm kind of like afraid to allow myself, I mean, I don't want to just lay in bed for 3 days on end if I'm not feeling it. Just like that to me, like, is, I have friends of mine that struggle with that, you know, but mental health wise, right? And I feel for them, you know, it's not like I don't judge that or anything, but like, for me, that's not how I work things out. But I think there's a fear of mine that I've never allowed myself to go to wherever that is, that it looks like for me, whatever. Maybe it doesn't look like me laying in a bed, you know? Maybe, I don't know what that looks like for me, but I don't know that I've ever allowed myself to go there because the dust has never felt like it's settled. And now that the dust has felt like it's settled, you know, I've talked to the family, the insurance piece is closed, the police investigation has been closed for a long time. I've shared a lot about it online. Like, I've talked about it. I'm almost done with the trauma narrative. I feel like the dust is starting to settle. I think part of my fear is I don't know what I'm going to look like on the other side. And I think I'm afraid of what's going to happen then. Like, when I'm just faced with, okay, now who am I as the person? I don't know if this is making any sense what I'm saying whatsoever. And this is very similar to what my therapy sessions are like. But I think I'm very afraid of what I'm going to look like on the other side having gone through this, and I don't know what that looks like, and I'm trying to control every aspect of that. So when I say I see my future over here, I just don't know how to step into that. Remember when I would say that, like, in the last couple months? Like, I just don't know how to step into that. I think this is my life, right? And I think I have stepped into that. I think the acceptance factor of it, I even said this to him today. I said, you know, I say this in videos, I say it in meetings all the time. Like, when people bring up acceptance, my thought is always, well, what's your alternative? You know, it's like, when people say, I just can't accept that my mom is gone. It's like, well, she's gone. She's not coming back. Like, my mom is gone, right? Like, I can accept it or not, but, like, I mean, she's not coming back, right? The accident happened. It was horrible. It was tragic. You know, every single day I put myself through it, you know, like last night I was like almost forcing myself to have images of it. And I just am like, so I think like me moving into the next stage, you know, and to even like be given such grace from his mother for her to say to me, you know, like, you have to stop torturing yourself. You have to live the best life that you possibly can. For him, he would want that. And I want that for you, you know? And to be given that, handed that grace on a silver platter, right? And then I still struggle with it. And, you know, my therapist was saying, I think part of you not allowing yourself just to accept and love your life is, and you always feel bad for any good, because I feel bad for any good thing that happens, right? And he's like, I think part of that is this ongoing punishment that you feel inside, like you need to punish yourself. But he goes, oh my God, those birds. That's not rational. Like, punish yourself for a medical emergency that you had no control over, you know? And I'm like, you know, yeah, you're right. I get it. It all sounds good, right? It looks good on paper. I don't know how to step into that. And maybe stepping into it is just, this is my life, you know? And maybe in this new life, I need to talk about the accident from time to time, you know, and things like that. And, you know, we were talking about the people that throw the accident up in my face, or they'll say, well, I know that there was a police investigation, but I don't believe it. You know, it's like, that's an ignorant statement, first of all. And he's like, but this goes back to you being like in elementary school and people saying things about you that weren't true, and you trying to respond to the untrue, you know? And But instead the question is, why do you care what they have to say? You know, is not putting it into it and allowing them to, you know, so, because he knows what I'm dealing with behind the scenes. He's like, is that maybe part of this punishment, you know? And that you're always constantly seeking approval from the people that are never going to give it to you. He goes, they're never, no matter, Peter, he goes, you couldn't prove enough things for those few people out there that are so sick and so twisted and evil that they're going to throw up the worst moment of your entire life, the worst moment of other people's lives. They're going to use that and weaponize that against you because they dislike you so much and they've never even met you in real life. He goes, like, the question is, like, why do you care what those people think at all? And the reality is, I don't. But some part of me, I think, struggles with, I think it's so cruel that anybody would ever say that, right? And I think, like, the email that I got, I keep it, like, I saved it, right? This email that I got a while ago where somebody said, you're trying to make sense of people that don't think the way that you do. These are really sick people, Peter. They're really, like... And so then I'm like, well, is it, like, should I be, like, legally pursuing people that are really mentally ill? Like, maybe I shouldn't. Like, maybe I should be giving them grace. Like, I don't know. You know, like, this is, like, these are the struggles that I go through. And then I'm like, no, because that's not an excuse, you know, to make somebody's life a living hell. You know, and it's like, and then put out a million lies and look away from the truth, and you only look at the lie that benefits your story to paint me as this horrible person, you know? It's like, but I don't know, like, I think for me, what my next life looks like is going to the pool, drinking coffee on my front porch and doing my meditation. It looks like what my life looks like now. I think I, like, am still, like, waiting for some huge thing to happen, you know? It's like we were talking, and, okay, we were talking in my therapy session. I have people in my personal life that will say things to me like, first of all, it's interesting because my husband, who's, like, I mean, never really lived through anything traumatic before, is so supportive. Like, he's not, like, the people in my core group, you know, like, Alex, Tanya, and Caroline, and my sponsor, like, they've never said these kinds of things to me, right? Like, I have people in my personal life who will say things to me, like, well, don't you think at some point down the road, like, if technology changes or medicine changes, you could drive again? And I'm like, I've made the decision that I don't ever want to drive again. I feel like it's the right decision to do. It's like one piece out of the whole thing that I feel like I can control. It's like one decision that I feel like I made that was, like, really good, and, you know, that I have control over this situation. And yeah, but, like, I mean, 20 years from now, and I'm like, it's the decision that I've made, right? Like, and so I was telling him that today, and I said, you know, it's not like I think that people are saying to me, like, oh, you should go drive. I think it's like a pity thing. Like, they feel bad, like, oh, you're stuck at home. But I don't really, to be honest with you, feel that way. Like, people ask me quite a bit, like, do you miss driving? I don't miss driving at all. I really don't. People ask me that, like, that's probably, when people ask me about, like, my situation today in my personal life, that's probably the number one question. Like, people ask Alex that. It's like, oh, Peter used to drive all the time. Does he miss driving? He's like, he does not ever miss driving. Like, I don't, you know? Like, weird things will happen. Like, Caroline and I were looking at some car. Alex and I were, well, we were driving, you know, Caroline and I saw this white Range Rover. And I was like, that's such a pretty car. And I said, it's weird to think that, like, I'll never, like, look at another car to buy again, you know? Like, that's kind of weird to me. But, like, I don't even miss it. And the weird thing is, like, I'm not afraid of, like, getting in a car. Like, I'm not afraid of being a passenger in a car. Like, I don't ever think that again, right? And so it's like, this is what I say a lot is, like, I know that, like, I'm not going to wake up next week and there's going to be a car in my driveway that I'm going to be driving and we're going to go back to before 2 years ago and everything's going to be back. Those days are gone. That, like, the event has happened, right? And so what does my life look like now and going forward? And that was what the question was today. And I don't know how to move into that next part, you know? And so I was asking him, and he was giving me suggestions, and he was like, I think that Peter, you're somebody that so loves the small moments in life. You love the watching the shows, the drinking the coffee, the going to the pool, the talking to your neighbors. He's like, that is your life. You love that life, you know? And just, it's embracing that. And then not always have to say, you know, this is what my life looks like now after the accident. Or it's been, you know, it's like, this is just my life. Like, just this is my life, right? That there's not like a door you're going to walk through to the next part of your life. But it feels like that for me. Like, it feels like it's been this like waiting game, you know, that, okay, the doctors, I have to wait until the doctors can approve that the back brace comes off. I have to, you know, wait until... And so it's going to be like, you know, I talked to like the attorney, and the attorney would say, it's going to be 4 more weeks until, you know, the police finalize this and whatever, and on and on and on. And then, you know, it's, okay, you have a brain bleed. Well, the MRI is scheduled in 2 weeks, so we won't know anything until 2 weeks out, or the 3 days after that, or whatever, the results from the MRI. Okay, well, you can't go here, you can't go there. And they put a lot of stipulations around the brain bleed. Those were things I didn't even really talk about on camera, because I was so terrified that they were going to have to do brain surgery on me. At first, they started talking about the drilling of the holes, the burr holes, but then it was much worse than that. I mean, they did not give me a great success rate with the... That was something I didn't really talk about on camera. I didn't feel like I could get on camera and talk about that, because I thought it was like a poor me moment. And I didn't feel like in everything that had happened with the accident that I could talk about this brain bleed that my doctors were telling me, there's a possibility that you might not survive this. That was my reality. And it was scary. And, and that was a waiting game. And then seeing, not my neurologist, but then going to see the neurosurgeon, and seeing another neurosurgeon, and then, you know, this, and then that. It was just like this constant waiting game. It's just been this, waiting. And now I feel like I'm at that point where it's like the dust has cleared. But I don't know what to do next. Like, I don't know what, like, I feel like in the last 2 years, I've been constantly, like, moving in motion, right? So I don't really know what to do. Birds are so pretty tonight, aren't they? So that was my therapy session. So just imagine getting done with that and then being like, hey, it's Peter and I'm back. Of course I'm back. So I had to take a moment and then film my drama video. But I'm getting there, you know. I'm getting there. Each day is better. I think it really contributes a lot. Like, I've lost a lot of weight, obviously, since the accident and the pancreatitis and stuff like that. But I think it contributes a lot to today, me, like, wanting to eat bad. Because on a day like that, that's like, I don't even know that that's necessarily just food addiction. It's just like, I just want comfort food, you know? Like, my mom used to make, like, chicken pot pies back in the day, before I was a vegetarian, when I was a kid growing up. I used to love chicken pot pies with, like, some apple crumble with a scoop of vanilla ice cream, you know, and like mashed potatoes. I love that. I mean, I love a good, when I was growing up, a meatloaf. I hated it at the time, but like looking back, I loved it. Meatloaf, pot roast. I loved all that stuff. I mean, I loved that comfort food, you know. Hot biscuits in the oven with jelly and butter. Like, my mom would make those, you know, come in the little roll, those biscuit biscuits or whatever they're called. I loved all of that, you know? And so I think that way today. Like, oh, when it's all, like, all the videos are up and everything like that, like, I'll just eat something good and watch some TV, and that's my comfort moment. And, like, that's the biggest struggle I've had. I didn't even talk about that so much today in my weight loss video, but I think that's really, like, one of the biggest struggles I've had, you know, is... And I guess it is kind of like a little bit like, you know, drinking, because it's like having a beer or drink at the end of the day and be like, oh, finally it's kind of like that for me a little bit, you know? And so, but like, since being stuck at home, like, that's one of the rewards that I have, you know? It's like, If not, I'm like, you know, ordering stuff online, getting excited about that. It's like I've ordered, I need to stay off the Amazon Prime. What I ordered earlier this week, some t-shirts, but those are for my videos. And then I also, because I'm trying to make healthier choices, and you know I have all those coffee syrups, and I'm like, I'm not using any of those coffee syrups, they're just sitting in the refrigerator. So people have recommended to me, I could see it was getting ready to stop. People have recommended to me the sugar-free syrups, and so they're like, why don't you try some of the sugar-free syrups? And I was like, oh, okay, so maybe I will try those sugar-free syrups. So I got on Amazon. It came today, because I'm going to show it in a haul, whatever. I have my reading glasses coming, so I'm going to do another haul, and I've got a PO unboxing to do. So that'll be sometime this weekend, or at the beginning of next week. But I was like, I really like the banana nut coffee and the Kauai banana cream coffee and whatever. So I was like, I want to get some banana syrup. And so I got online, and the brand that I usually buy, which I can't even remember what it's called now. I'm having such a hard time remembering things today. Whatever that brand is called of coffee syrup, they didn't have sugar-free banana syrup. So I bought a different brand. It might have even been Godiva, I don't remember. But it was some other brand. And I bought the sugar-free banana syrup because I thought, okay, the calorie-free and sugar-free banana syrup. I thought, well, that's a healthier choice, at least if I want some syrup in my coffee. And so I got that to try. We'll hope I like it, right? And so, I mean, I just, I think of stuff, and I'm like, I just gotta not continue to be, getting online and buying stuff, you know? I mean, I'm not hurting for it. Like I said, I always put money aside every month, and I'm months ahead, so I could buy, you know, a bunch of stuff. I was like, I think maybe for my birthday, I want to buy a new bag, and I was looking at some shoes and stuff like that. And I was like, you really don't need this stuff. It's not like you go anywhere to you know, you've got enough bags and all this kind of stuff. And I was like, I don't know, maybe. I haven't bought one in a while. I've been saving this money, putting this money into my savings, just sitting there for what, you know? I mean, that's my money that to spend on stuff. And honestly, what I spend it on a lot is credits on Audible and Amazon Prime. That's pretty much the things that I order, you know? So anyway, so last night I ended up watching The Walking Dead. So then today, after I had the therapy session, I don't know why I went back to The Walking Dead, but after the therapy session today, I had to take a moment because I was so in my head. I love my therapist so much. She's so fantastic. He's just so kind, and he says what I need to hear in that moment, you know? But he's also very challenging as well. And so I got done with that, and then I was like, no, it'll be good for me to make some videos. I kind of turned it around. So I made a drama video. And then I did I did my weight loss journey video, my weigh-in video, and then I did a drama video. And then who is that car over there coming in? I've never seen that car over there before. And then I came out here and while those were rendering and uploading, I did a Peterisms video. And then I did a booktube video. I finished my Q&A from the other day because I was like, I want to do that. So I did that. Yeah, I had a fun time filming the videos. It was nice, and they're all uploading right now. I think I already posted the Peter Does Stuff, the weight loss video. The drama video is uploading, and the Peterisms video is uploading, and the booktube video is uploading. So when I get done with this vlog, those videos will be done, and then, yeah, I have an hour until Alex gets home, and I'll figure out what I'm going to do for dinner. Oh, pizza! Oh my god, pizza sounds so good. I haven't had pizza in a long time, but I'll tell you what's interesting is and I don't usually say this, I usually love bad, fatty pizza, Donato's or Papa John's or whatever, but that has not sounded good to me at all lately. I go through phases with food. Tanya always laughs about this. She's like with Piata, she's like, you go through that phase of Piata where you order Piata every day. I go through... I always slap my leg. People think that's so hilarious in videos. But I do. I go through phases with food. Where I'm okay, I'm so in the mood for this, and I order that every day. But Basbo's is thin pizza. And I'm not a big thin pizza person, but their pizza's so good. Oh my god, I love it. So yeah, we'll see. And this weekend, gonna have a relaxing weekend. Tomorrow, well, so I was talking, so you guys want to take a little, field trip real quick? Okay. So today, they came and they, got the, what do you call it, They finally did the area over here. They finally did the area. They're supposed to come out here and clean up the rest of it. But look, it's gone. All the orange stuff is gone. They came out here and they patched it up, and you can see there's like seedling on it. So this is what it looks like now. This looks pretty good, don't you think? So yeah, they came out here and they fixed it today. That'll be my thumbnail. They came out here and they fixed it today, and then my neighbor came out across the street. And it was so funny. She was so cute. She was like, this bird just went over there at the same time a chipmunk did, underneath my hostas. She's like, you know they would never have come out and fixed it had we not called. So she had a friend who knows somebody that works at the electric company that's like high up. And so she called and talked to that person. And I called and talked to the electric company. And then they came out here and fixed it. Don't you know that HOA president who's so nice? Don't you know she put out this thing and she was like, we finally got it fixed. No credit to me or my neighbor across the street whatsoever. She was like, you know that never would have happened had we not got on it. I was like, oh, I know. But, so anyway, I don't know who those contractor people were that said that they were coming out here to fix the wires and all that kind of stuff, but that never happened. I don't know if that was just talk or what that was, but they literally just came out here and like put the hole out there and whatever. They never came and dug into the ground like they said they were going to do. And it was the contracting people that were filling the hole today. So I don't even know what they were talking about with all that madness. But anyway, it's filled in. So I was talking to her. What was I saying? I don't even know what I was saying now because I got distracted about that. Oh, she and I were talking because she was telling me about her volunteer work today and stuff like that. And I said, what are you guys doing this weekend? Because he hasn't been out here grilling out a lot. And she was like, well, he says it's like been cold outside. So she's like, but maybe this weekend. And I said, is it supposed to be nicer this weekend? She's like, yeah. And I looked on my phone. It's so weird because I looked the other day and it was supposed to be like all set high 70s next week. It's not. It's like back in the 60s again for next week. But tomorrow it's supposed to be like, I think it's like Saturday is 80 and Sunday is like 83 or 82. And then tomorrow is supposed to be like 70 or something, which is much better because today it was like 60. It was still cold because I asked her, I said, do you think it's time to bring out for an elicious? And she said, I would not bring her out until I wouldn't bring her plants out because she said, this is what she said. She was going to get her plants, her flowers this weekend. She was somewhere on the south side and she gets some. She's like, I'm going to go to the south side because we live on the north side. She was like, I'm going to go to the south side this weekend and get my flowers at this place that she always goes. She's but I'm kind of worried about the temperature, and that's when I asked her about for an elicious. She said, I wouldn't bring your plants from upstairs outside until it's not going to drop below 40 anymore because it's still like at night, it's going below 40. It's still real cold. This is why the hoodie is for, you know, summertime in Indiana. So I was like, okay, well, that's good advice. She was like, yeah. She was like, but like, I said, so like 2 more weeks. And she was like, yeah, I think into May. She's like, when at night it's not dropping into the 40s anymore. She's like, I think you're good to leave the fern out here. And I was like, okay. I think I'm going to have to put some potting soil into the hanging container that Fernalicious is in because like when I water her, it goes right under it. Like it's like either so dry in there. I don't know. I'm gonna have to look and see. But I'm not gonna do that until I bring her out here because I don't want to mess with it. So this weekend it's supposed to be nicer. Thank God. I'm ready for a little bit nice weather. Yeah, and I'll probably just film some videos and hang out and all that kind of stuff and watch the movies for Peter's Movie Club. I don't know what I'm going to watch tonight. Well, tonight, obviously, more walking. Oh, God, I know what it is I'm going to watch tonight. Oh, I'm so excited. I was talking to her about this. I'm going to watch Survivor and Amazing Race. As soon as I get done with this, I'm going to figure out dinner and watch Survivor and Amazing Race. I cannot wait. It's my favorite night of the week to watch TV. I love Survivor and Amazing Race. And she watches Survivor and he watches Amazing Race and Caroline is watching both of them. And I said, oh, that's how Caroline and I got talking about the car, because she wants to go on Amazing Race so bad. By the way, we are thinking about putting together a podcast, one that would really happen this time, called Cousin. But it wouldn't come until 2020, at least 2025, because we're going to, like, think the whole thing through. But what would we talk about on there? I don't know. Have I mentioned that over here before? Because Caroline's always like, when are we doing our podcast? I go, Caroline, I already said not until 2025. Like, listen, it's not going to happen until then. She's like, what are we going to talk about? I go, I don't know, Caroline. We have to figure it out. So anyway, But we were talking about The Amazing Race and who we like and who we don't like. And I'm like, the thing is it's like not personalities like Big Brother and stuff. Like on Amazing Race, I kind of like all of them a little bit. Like I really do. I love the mother and son, and I didn't like them at the beginning. But the mother is like so willing to do everything for her son. And her son is like so sweet with her. And so anyway... But when I was talking to her, so people are asking me, they're like, who don't you like on The Amazing Race? There's not really anybody that I don't like. I think they're all nice people. So Caroline was saying about going on The Amazing Race, and because whenever we're like going someplace, I'm like, turn here. She's like, just let me go the way that I want to go. I go, this is quicker. And so whenever we go to Costco, she always thinks that her way is quicker than mine. And I'm like, if you go this way, it'll be quicker. She never listens to me. And I said, this is what would happen to us on An Amazing Race, because you would have to drive, because I don't drive, so you would have to always drive. Oh, am I getting an Amazon truck? Or Amazon package? Oh, maybe it's my t-shirts. I was like, you would have to drive and I would have to give you instructions. She's like, we would be out the first episode. I said, I know, because you don't talk very nice to me. She started laughing. She's like, I talk so nice to you. I go, I know you do, Caroline. I love you. I love my cousin Caroline. She's so good to me. I have really good people in my life. I feel very, very blessed. I don't have a lot of people in my life, but I have good people in my life that I have. And, and every time that I get done filming for the day and I post my vlog, and I always think about, like, all of a sudden somebody, like, because somebody will post right away, like, oh, it just popped up and I was getting ready to go to bed, now I can listen to this. And I think about you guys, and I think about how blessed I am that there's people out there that actually give a shit what I have to say and want to watch my, videos and just listen to, like, my boring day. And I just really appreciate that. I think it's so nice. And, I try to say it on a pretty regular basis, but I want you guys to know I really appreciate it. It means the world to me. I have a blessed life, and you guys allow me to have that. And I'm so thankful for that. So thank you. I appreciate it. And, thanks for joining me on the front porch. I'm going to get off here now. A little shorter vlog than usual. Again, for at least this month. I'm going to get off here now and go inside and get the rest of these videos up. And I hope that you guys are having a magically amazing Thursday. And if nobody else, and also if you're watching this tomorrow, a fantastic beginning to your weekend. And if nobody else has told you this today, I love you. Be kind to one another. Love one another a little bit more. Most importantly, be kind to yourself and love yourself more. You deserve it. And you must first be a value to yourself before you can be a value to someone else. So make sure you're taking care of yourself. You deserve it. And if you're going through something right now that's really tough in your life, I'm sending lots of positivity, lots of positive vibes, lots of love, prayers if you need them. I believe in them. And know that you will get through this, and the sun shall shine again, and good days on the horizon. So you'll be okay. Anyway, thanks for listening to me today. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Love you.